Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Astroneer series. Today we're pretty much picking up where we left off in the previous episode. We retrieved 4 of those mysterious mushrooms from the depths of Sylva. Yes, those were the words. Words are a bit hard on the weekend sometimes, but that's all good. Yes, we did retrieve some of the mysterious mushrooms in the previous episode. We need a total of 10. We only located 4 because it was a little bit on the stingy side in terms of their distribution. And now I'm thinking about it, I think they've always been that way. I just made an assumption this time round for some unknown reason that we might get lucky and find like 6 or 7 or 8 or something in one place. But I don't think it's ever been that way. But leave a comment down below if you've been able to get lucky on this particular mission previously and found a secret cache of, you know, a squillion or less mystical mushrooms, or mysterious mushrooms as they are. Anyway, I digress. We are down here because trying to lay a train line, or a monorail, I mean technically, but whatever, it's rail. Trying to lay one through here was a gigantic pain in the, insert suitable body part here. You didn't see it in the episode, but I spent a lot of time just trying to, by hand dig a path or level out areas where I could put the pylons for the rail. I mean, it's not that hard, it's just time consuming because there's lots of little nooks and hooks and you got to deal with the, plants that shoot poison at you and blah, blah, blah. So it's not a quick process. So I thought, start of this session, I'm going to get this rover up and running. We took our drill and paver with us when we left Sylva the first time and neglected to make a new one because we kind of didn't need it. We need it now, so off screen I made a new paver, a new level 1 drill, and a soil canister, and any other little odds and ends that we needed to make it all work. Now, I've made a bit of a blunder here. No uncertain terms, I brought that tower with me thinking that the mushrooms were only a medium slot, a 2 slot, and therefore I could carry a bunch of them on here, and all I'd have to do is run around, drilling paths everywhere until I got enough mushrooms. Something else I managed to successfully forget is that the mushrooms take a large slot, not a medium slot. So, taking this gigantic tower of pain and suffering with me, it really didn't achieve very much other than to get it clogged up and to block one of the slots. So there's going to be a little bit of Astroneer Tetris that I'm going to crop off here, but basically we've got a path, so we don't need our drill or paver, so we're going to take those off the front of the rover. Actually, we might leave the drill. We'll put the seat on the front. That frees up a slot on the back. And now we're going to run this back to base, hand those in, dump all the extra stuff that we don't need, and then we're going to have another go at this in a moment. I had given a bit of thought to maybe building a second rover and driving the two rovers down as a train, as a way of picking up more of these mushrooms in one go. Problem with that plan is, in the previous episode, well, actually, I think it ended up on the cutting room floor, but essentially part of doing those missions, we had to hand in 3 chips. Anyone care to guess how many chips we actually had on hand at the time? Yep, that's alright. We had 3. So we don't actually have any spare chips here at the moment. I mean, I've got a cache there I can blow up, and as you can see here, there's still a few caches around, not too far from, previously dug roads. So technically I could get a few more with a minimum amount of effort, and we certainly have explosives, they're not an issue. But I just, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was worth the effort. In retrospect, honestly, that's probably what I should have started the episode with, was just making another rover, joining it up, and then bringing it down, because we'd have had everything we needed. We'd have got sufficient mushrooms probably in 2 trips, and yeah, we'd be there already. But anyway, it's all good. We are going to get there. With just the one rover, we are limited to only having 2 slots available, because we're using a full-size RTG, which we got in a previous mission reward. They produce 4 units a second. That is enough to run the rover and all the bits that are plugged into it at the moment, with a little bit of power to spare. That only takes up a medium slot, so that's pretty economical. We've got our drill, we've got our paver, and we are a bit limited though, because we don't have any other slots, and the issue that's causing is we can't have our soil canister on there, so the paver is very limited. If I'm drilling and I'm drilling more dirt than I need to pave, then the two do still work together. But if I need to go, up and create a ramp, yeah, that doesn't happen, because the little tiny cache of soil that you build up, it disappears very quickly. So yeah, anyway, it's efficient enough for getting around down here, simply because most of the time you're drilling through more than you're paving. So it's got its limitations, but here you don't really notice it too badly. So we've made 1 trip to the train there. We've dropped 2 off. So that would bring us to a total of 8. We just need to go out and find 2 more and bring them back to the train, and then take them back to the rail station. I imagine that should be a fairly straightforward task. Let's see how we get on with that. Well, as it turns out, it did end up being reasonably straightforward, but not without a small issue. If you see these sort of tallish trees, like the one that the drill just destroyed, yeah, tallish, well, I call them trees, they're like mushrooms. There was one of the mission mushrooms sort of mounted on the side of that tree. Not that exact one, but a tree that I was working my way towards. I got to it, I went, hey, that's the second one, that's it, that's job done. And I ended up digging all the soil around it. I even ended up digging up the tree itself. The mushroom ended up floating in thin air with nothing holding it there, but I couldn't pick it up or get it to do anything. So and that was the only one that was within spitting distance in that direction. So I ended up running around for a while before I finally came across this one on my radar. So yeah, not entirely uneventful, but we didn't die. That's any time we can complete a mission, however fumbly and rudimentary our skills might be at doing these missions. If we can achieve it without dying, I usually call that a win. So yeah, this one's pretty much a win at this stage. We're going to run these two mushrooms back to the train, and then we'll have a quick little trip up to the base and see what our next task might be. Alright, here we are. We can hand in our Mystery Shrooms mission. That one's pretty handy because that gave us a couple of fuels. And the jump jets, I don't know. Look, I might give them a go again on Aatrox when we get there. But for the moment, I'm still keen to steer clear of the backpack jump packs. But the fuel is really useful. Because even if we don't use it as fuel, we're going to use it to make, diamonds and other advanced materials. So it's definitely a good thing. Now, while we're up here, we picked up our new mission. Now, our new mission is we need 32 units of Astronium. Now, Astronium generally you will find with a reasonable amount of reliability and quantity, generally in the lower mantle, like right down near the core. And that is in fact where we're going to end up going today to get our Astronium. Now, there is an alternative way of getting Astronium, and I have used this before for an event, not specifically for this mission. But you can actually, just like these mission or the equivalent missions on the other planets, where you would get a bigger item and then blow it up to get smaller items. Well, if you blow up the mushrooms, you will also get Astronium. But I didn't see much point in doing that because I haven't really touched the Astronium here on Sylva, and I'm pretty sure, or at least I was pretty sure, that there is a fairly monster node of it not far from the bottom of this ramp. And that is in fact exactly what we ended up finding. In fact, you can see the glow of it around about the time we get to the bottom of the ramp here. You'll see it off to our right. Yep, that's our Astronium, and it's a big vein. I'm kind of thinking I should have brought the extractor down. But then you got to mess around with power and stuff, and I'm not really in a position to do that yet. When we're done with Aatrox, I might come back and set up extractors with the RTGs to run them, because you could get, I don't know, 4 or 5 RTGs per extractor, and then just have them running all the time without having to worry about power or running power lines or anything like that. But look, we'll deal with that another day. For the moment, though, we are here getting our Astronium. even with such a rich vein, it did take a minute or two, so I've just sped the footage up here. We end up mining a little bit more. I can't remember if we end up using it for something else, but I ended up just, once I filled the container, I kept 6 on my backpack for other uses. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just going to finish gathering the Astronium here, and we'll head back up and hand that one in, and we'll see what else we might have on our dance card for today. Alright, now we are back on the surface and we have our Astronium here. All we had to do is turn the output on that can on, and as you can see it spits one out onto the train and then it basically sucks it into the station. I haven't sped this up, so it actually occurs pretty quickly. Yep, slurp, 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 straight into the station. Give it, I don't know, 10-20 seconds, it'll probably be done. And then we can go and find out what lovely little rewards we might have for doing this mission. Yep, there we go. Singular substance has been completed. What is our reward? Oh, we're getting another small RTG. Oh, they're very handy. Alright, so now we get to use the data log on the train station. Now, are we going to get another mission, I wonder? Or is this the end of the line? Huh, no pun intended. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Oh, we have a space invader. No, this is just a demo of the vanity pack, which is what you get for completing this very involved line of missions in Astroneer. We're going to see the rewards at the bottom of the thing when we hand it in. As soon as I pull my finger out and actually get it done. Yep, there we go. So you can see we get a conductor suit and a train whistle. Oh, and we get a full-size RTG. Very nice. Okay, so that was actually quite a rewarding line of missions to do. It started with needing to place something on Glacio, and then Calidor, and then Sylva. And now, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure this is the last train slash transport one that we'll have in Astroneer. I don't remember ever coming across any of the other ones, and we've done them in order. So, yeah. Now, the other thing we've done in order is we've reached the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed this one, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Please make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.